You're listening to the latest dose of Bipolar Recorder. This podcast may cause dizziness and blurred vision. Enjoy.
Welcome back to Bipolar Recorder. My name is Hunter Keegan. Thank you for joining us today. It's always a pleasure when we have Stu on the show. Stu is a recurring guest, and he has been featured on Bipolar Recorder a few times now, talking about his experiences with a kind of midlife bipolar diagnosis, as well as a autism diagnosis and some other potential comorbid conditions. So we talk a lot about where he's at with his current state of affairs in terms of his assessments that he's had for these different conditions and his process of getting services through the United Kingdom's mental health care system. We also talk a lot about some other topics. We get a little sidetracked toward the end, and we talk about everything from Russian hypersonic missiles to our chance encounters with the cult icon Henry Rollins and other fun stuff too. So I hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll get right into it.
All right, we are back with Stu again. So glad to have you back on the show, Stu. So how have you been doing lately?
I'm good. Thanks for having me anyway, Hunter. Yeah, it's been Christmas and New Year. Happy New Year and all that.
Happy New Year.
Not that I celebrated it particularly, but
Yeah,
I'm all right. I've been a bit up and down, as I said to you now. Our communications on email and stuff. Spoke to the psychiatrist the other day, and he's fairly sure it's autism or ADHD as well as bipolar. So
wow.
But he's saying a formal diagnosis he won't have for another 6 or 7 months. He wants to keep talking to me. As I say,
6 to 7 months.
I don't understand it. I don't understand because I'm trying to understand. On the one hand, he's got me on a set of medications, which, as I say, we'll get to in a minute. But that's where my sort of faith in it falls down, because if he's not entirely sure what's wrong, how's he entirely sure how to treat it?
How often will he be seeing you during that 6 to 7 month?
You can see me again in March.
In March? Wow, that's a long time from now.
Yeah, but this is the NHS in England, I'm afraid. So, yeah, I think it's a lot to do with funding. I mean, I'm lucky, it took me nearly 18 months to get seen by him in the first place.
Wow.
So, yeah, I just think it's probably a result of the funding cuts and just the pressure on the NHS from the pandemic and people needing more help. But yeah, I'm sort of a bit in flux with it all, really, which is sort of where I got to at Christmas. I haven't got a lot of faith in what he's saying, to be honest with you, although I know something's up, and I sort of can concur with the autism diagnosis. I haven't looked into it.
That's interesting.
Well, I'm just thinking about myself, do you know what I mean? Just thinking about how I can be, the obsession with numbers and just the awkwardness, the social awkwardness sometimes.
You said anagrams too once, right? Like you're really
obsessed
into
with anagrams. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool, though.
I worked out that risperidone is prisoner die, and I was like, oh shit, but they just manic though. I was like, am I the prisoner?
That's very ominous.
Surely I thought to myself, surely if you're going to name a mental health medication, you should make sure it hasn't got any dubious anagrams. Sure, that should be 101. Do you know what I mean? That should be the first thing you do.
Yeah.
Like just bang through an anagram.
I wonder how you could come up with something that just does not create any anagram. Like, is there an anagram for Vraylar? I don't think that would lay for or something. I don't know.
Leave it with me. I'll have to work on that one.
Cool, man. Well, it sounds like things are still a bit dubious right now in terms of that diagnosis and reaching the answer.
I think that's where, because what we're going to talk about is obviously the Lamictal and what I did with that over Christmas.
Yeah, we're going to get into some stuff about medication changes in just a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, I think because I didn't have faith in what he was saying, I started to feel better. Slightly manic, I would say, but then better. And I suppose the behavior was more manic. There was no reasoning. I sort of was like, I'm stopping the Lamictal, and I binned it. I put it in the bin.
Mm-hmm.
I got it out the bin after I started to feel terrible.
Yeah.
But I think it stayed because it was Christmas time. The bins weren't collected and what have you. So I ended up going down the bin day after Boxing Day and pulling these tablets out. But I just think that the precursor to me binning them was, like, I've seen this psychiatrist twice online, and I don't know, just not having I just can't understand how he can treat something without knowing what it is. Do you know what I mean? And then I don't think he's being difficult. I don't know. I just it's a faith thing. Do you know what I mean? I think you've got to have faith in someone when they're treating you, don't you?
Well, you need to be able to trust your provider, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the best way of putting it. It's like, I don't know. And also, if you do become manic, then the problem with that is if you haven't, because he said to me, call me if you become slightly manic, and the last thing I want to do is call him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What concerns you specifically?
I don't know. I suppose because I am so in denial about being sick when I'm like that I'm trying to find a ways and means of it just disappearing, and I sort of associate the meds with being ill, I suppose. So when I felt mentally okay, I mean, the depression had lifted and what have you, and he'd given me the Lamictal for depression. When the depression lifted, I was almost like, well, I'm cured. Fucking hell, I'm cured. I'm better. And that sort of gave me the confidence to throw them in the bin. But I mean, then again, looking back on it, throwing them in the bin is an extreme thing to do. I haven't done it with any other medications.
Yeah.
It's almost like I wanted to take away the ability to go back on that decision by throwing them in the bin.
And then you realized that, like, you actually do need it.
Well, yeah, I crashed hard. I just hit a wall on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. I managed to forget my girlfriend's birthday.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was just completely in a haze. So I managed to forget her birthday, which obviously didn't go down too well.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I was masking feeling depressed, so I wasn't really saying I feel suicidally depressed. I was just sort of like getting through Christmas and thinking. I sort of didn't associate it with not taking the tablets, and then day after Boxing Day, I think I realised that. Well, I was said to my girlfriend that because I couldn't do it secretly, I had to go down the bin. So we got marigold gloves out and like chucking everything out of the bin out the front and trying to find these fucking tablets.
Wow.
Because I was panicking then, because I was thinking there's no way to get hold of a GP to get the script written out again.
Yeah.
For Christmas. And I thought, I'm crashing so hard. I literally felt like lashing up a rope, which I hadn't felt. Well, I told you, didn't I? I hadn't felt for a long while.
Yeah. Wow, that's intense.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
how did you get through that? How long did it take for the pills to start working again, or did you do anything else in the meantime?
I don't know if it's placebo, but pretty much within the 3 or 4 hours after taking it, I could feel it lift.
Yeah.
And then by the next day, it had gone again. But the last couple of days, I've been feeling a bit, I don't know, just down. But I don't know how much that is just to, just you feel down sometimes, don't you? Do you know what I mean? I haven't been feeling suicidal, but I've just been feeling a bit flat and a bit mute, a bit like someone's turned the volume off.
Well, it usually takes at least 4 to 6 weeks for those medications to reach therapeutic levels in your body.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's January 16th right now, so it's really only been about 2 or 3 weeks since you started them up again. I mean, I don't know how long you stopped them for.
No,
maybe that
right.
made it get back up to the level more quickly. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but
no, I know. I don't know either. That's the thing. I think it's accepting it's very chemical, and that, you know, I think I got to that position where I was feeling okay, and then I sort of decided I wanted to end the meds because I felt better. It's always we talked about it before, though. It's always dodgy because it's through the filter of you that you're making decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not accepting you're not well, which I still think I'm struggling with the idea, and it's easy with the sort of hazy way the psychiatrist has been, it's very easy to read between the lines and think, well, maybe there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, I when I first got diagnosed with bipolar and I got put on medications, I trashed all of those prescriptions because I thought that I did not need them. Um, and I mean, I was not taking them because I didn't think that I needed them. I was like feeling so manic that I was like, I'm not mentally ill, I'm just on the next level. Like no one gets the wavelength that I'm on.
Yeah.
And that didn't end up going too well. But so I also have reduced my medications, as you know.
Yeah, you said, but you did it.
I did it under medical supervision.
Yeah, that's the best way, isn't it? You didn't just lob them in the bin.
No, I didn't just throw them away this time. This is something that I've been working with my psychiatrist on for about the last, I guess, 4 months now. We've been slowly reducing certain medications that I'm on.
So what did you go from to on the Lamictal?
So I take Lamictal, Buspirone, and Vraylar are the 3 main medications that I take. And the first thing we did is we reduced the Lamictal from 300 milligrams, which is a pretty high dose, down to 200 milligrams. And we kept it there for about a month. And I did experience hypomania during that first reduction, and then I crashed and had a few days of depression after that, but it was all manageable. So once we got stable at 200 milligrams, we further reduced it to 150 milligrams, so half of the original dose. And that time I didn't really experience any mania or depression as a result. So we let that ride for a few more weeks. And then we discussed reducing the Vraylar, which is an antipsychotic medication. So we cut that in half from 3 milligrams to 1.5 milligrams. And that change with the Vraylar just happened about, I don't know, 4 days ago.
Right,
So the results of that remain to be seen. Like we will see.
What about the Buspirone? Are you still on the Buspirone?
Yeah, I'm still taking the Buspirone. That medication hasn't changed. I think I take that. I can't even remember why I started taking Buspirone. I think it had to do with OCD tendencies, actually, or like something
for anxiety, I thought.
Yeah. It was like something like that. It was like reducing anxiety or reducing intrusive thoughts or whatever was
Right.
why I started taking the Buspirone, I believe. But so this is like the same cocktail of medication that I've been on for the last probably year and a half now. It's just that we've reduced the dosages on everything. So it's the same medications, just lower dosages.
Yeah. It was a similar. So I was on Buspirone, but I knocked it on the head because I felt numbed out. And then I'm on Spiridon, which is obviously a mood stabilizer and antipsychotic. And then I'm on the Lamictal for keeping the depression off, obviously, because it's a long time since I felt psychotic or particularly manic. I mean, a bit before Christmas, I might have been heading that way, but nothing like the sort of high highs you get. Do you know what I mean? Where I'm like, I'm on another level.
I can tell you that reducing the Lamictal from 300 eventually down to 150 has made me feel much more clear-headed. Like the whole reason I started reducing these medications in the first place is because of brain fog primarily. Like that was the main reason, and reducing the Lamictal has really helped with that. So for me personally, that has been a side effect that has been reduced through lowering the medications. And like I said, we did this over the course of like 3 to 4 months. So it wasn't all at once. And I just met with my psychiatrist Oh, I don't know, like 2 or 3 days ago. I may have said that earlier, but anyhow, I met with him very
No,
recently.
you said that you reduced the Vraylar 2 or 3 days
Yeah,
ago, but I didn't
right.
know you met the psychiatrist. Right, okay.
Right. Yeah. So I met with him a couple days ago, and then that's when we made the decision to reduce it. But he was asking me what my goals with reducing the medication is or are. And I told him that in general, right now, I just feel like I've been stable for a very long time, and that maybe at this point, up until now, I've been kind of over medicated for the last maybe like 2 or 3 years.
Mm,
And in general, my goal is not to completely remove medication, but to reduce the dosages that I'm on to
yeah.
have less artificial psychotropic neurological shit going on in my
Yeah,
brain.
exactly.
Yeah. So,
It's a weird thing to describe because you feel subtly chemical, don't you? That's what I feel like. It's just subtle. I mean, but again, I'd felt numbed out or sort of a bit hazy from the Lamictal, I think. And then
sometimes you have to stick with it for a couple of months, and then those side effects start to go down.
yeah, I think I just obviously stopping it. I hit such. I'm obviously in my body or my brain is in such a deep depression at the moment that I need that medication because as soon as I stopped it, the veil lifted and I was like, wow, I'm depressed.
Yeah, don't you kind of forget sometimes how heavy duty those medications are? Like once you go off them,
Yeah,
like when I initially reduced the Lamictal, I had been taking 300 milligrams of Lamictal for so long that my body was just like totally used to it. And it gets to a point where I've been at like a baseline slash maintenance phase for the most part for the last couple of years.
yeah,
And so like taking medications is just another thing that I do every day. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, I take this shit, it's fine. And I'm like, and so you're kind of like, you forget how much it does change your stability. So reducing that 300 milligrams to 200 at first, like it caught me off guard when
yeah.
I experienced that hypomania. I wasn't expecting that anything would really happen because I was kind of like, part of me was kind of like, I think these medications are sort of bullshit. I don't think they really do much. And then after slowing them down, I was like, oh yeah, I guess they do actually have quite a bit to do with
That's what I felt like. I felt like because I started getting hooked on side effects. I was like, what about the side effects? What about the long term? Like reading,
Mhm.
it can cause death and it can cause kidney problems and it can make your teeth fall out. And so I became overly fixated on side effects, forgetting why I'd originally gone on them
Yeah.
and
And
thinking that they're like the bullshit. They're like, oh, well, they're not doing anything anyway.
yeah, and they're making you sicker. Sometimes it feels like, but yeah, I mean, there's bad side effects with like virtually every psychiatric medication. It not that the side effects will happen for everyone, but I feel like every medication has a potential for bad side effects for some
Mm.
people. So it's a matter of finding the right meds at the end of the
It's
day.
it's hard to extrapolate them as well because when you're stuck in your head and you're constantly thinking, especially when you've got anxiety, it's like it's very hard to know what's going on. That's what I find because you can't trust your own decisions. That's the
Mhm.
worst part of it, I think, of being
Yeah.
bipolar or having a mental illness. Is that you can't really trust what's going on, and you add a bit of paranoia. Obviously, because when I stopped the tablets, my oldest brother who lives in Wales was saying what you're doing, and my partner was saying, but I just didn't listen to them. Do you know what I mean? I've got no interest in what they're saying about it
Mhm.
because I was
Yeah.
obviously hellbent on just stopping them.
Yeah. And did you were you not taking heed to what they were saying because you were just like, they don't know what's going on
Yeah,
inside my head? Or
yeah, it's that. Yeah, it's like I just became. Yeah, it's like you just become ultra confident that what you're saying is right, and
yeah.
forgetting why. Like you said, you're forgetting what they're actually doing for you.
Mhm.
It's so difficult. It's like hard to grab and hard to explain. It's like a subtlety, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? There's an extreme subtlety to it. It's like I've just given up smoking. I gave up smoking about a week ago.
That's good.
I didn't want to smoke
Congratulations.
cigarettes. No, nice one. I didn't want to smoke cigarettes anymore, you know, because I worry about my health. This is one of the anxieties I often have, you know. I think.
Yeah. Well,
And
smoking cigarettes is definitely not good for health.
I know. It's and also it got to the point where every cigarette I'm sort of thinking, this is killing me, this is killing me, this is killing me. So it wasn't really enjoyable. So it got to the point where I was creating anxiety, and also the first cigarette was making my heart race and giving me pretty bad anxiety.
Yeah.
But I think it's the same with that. It's that subtlety, and yeah, nicotine's can be quite a strong drug, can't it?
Yeah, definitely. I stopped smoking cigarettes a while ago and switched over to a vape, which I can see you're doing right now, which is cool. But like the vape, honestly, for me was more addictive than the cigarettes were, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because you can just like chill and do it all day without kind of noticing it, because you don't have to like step outside or whatever, and you know, it doesn't make your clothing smell bad or whatever. So I would proceed with caution with the vape, just so you know, because right now I'm trying to quit vaping, and it is really fucking difficult.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm using it when because I'm your typical smoker. You know what I mean? I like cigarettes. I smoke before bed. I smoke in the morning. I smoke after dinner. So what I'm doing is, rather than puffing on it, I imagine it's a cigarette, and I have it for the period of time that I have a cigarette. So I've just had dinner.
Okay, that makes sense. That's cool. I use toothpicks a lot too, just to like handle that like oral fixation thing.
I think that's it. I stopped biting my nails as well, but maybe I'll bite my nails again.
Oh man, dude, I bite my nails all the time. I have all these weird nervous habits that I do, and biting my nails is one of the primary ones. It sucks.
It's difficult, and as I say, because everything's through the lens of you, isn't it? Everything's through that lens, and that's where, like, that's what I was trying to say before with the smoking. It's a subtlety. It's like when I gave up smoking, I don't realize that it really doesn't do anything. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but then again, there's that craving. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't give me anything. There's that craving, and I realized that, because I thought, oh, give up smoking, be easy.
Yeah.
It's been hitting me a bit, and I think it's linked in with feeling depressed, and it's linked in with feeling psychotic. You know, the desire to smoke.
Yeah, I think like the impulse control and feeling elevated, and like you have to be like doing something with your hands or whatever.
Well, feeling like you deserve it. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got this terrible mental health problem, and you know you can't do anything about that, so you may as well reward yourself with cigarettes or whatever.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's almost like that takes the precedent, and you ignore all else. Do you know what I mean? Whether it be your diet or smoking or drinking or what have you. I mean, although I don't drink, as you know, but yeah, it's sort of like, you know, this hierarchy of needs where you're sort of like, well, because I've struggled so badly mentally, I deserve a cigarette almost.
Yeah.
No, I just want to give up. That's what, see, that was the thing as well. I sort of decided to give up smoking, so I was like, I'm going to give up Lamictal as well. And obviously it didn't work out. I should have done. See, the reason I didn't do what you did and speak to the psychiatrist, because I knew he'd say no. Would he just say, you've only just gone on then?
Yeah.
The depression. And then I would have been like, didn't really have anything to say. You know what I mean? So I think I knew.
Yeah, you were like, I'm just gonna try this and see how it goes.
Yeah, I just thought magically I might feel better.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that though, man. Like,
well, you'd already told me. I actually said to you in a text, didn't I? And you were sort of like, well, be careful.
It's like, proceed with caution.
And I just ignored you, of course.
That's cool. I have ignored many pieces of advice people have given me over the years about mental health, so I totally get it. But
I mean, I my brother at the time I spoke to, because we went down after Christmas. Like last week, was it? Yeah, it was last week. So I was back on them, and I told him, and he said that initially he was just like fucking furious. Do you know what I mean? At the fact that I'd taken that risk. Do you know what I mean? Because he's been quite supportive of me. but he understands as well. Do you know what I mean? He said you have to realize that, you know, it's something chemical going on for you.
Yeah.
But it's so hard. Anyone who's listening or anyone who's like us will know what we mean by this. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's such a subtle thing because you feel better, and then you associate those meds with being sick. That's what it is for me. I just think popping those tablets each day, I'm just fucked off with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Although you say, oh, you've managed to accept it and you incorporate it into your daily routine, you know, and you take it and it's just something you do.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it fucks me off.
Yeah, well, I mean, it took me a really, really long time to get to that point too. I mean, it took me like years to get to that point. So some things just kind of come with time and you know, practice, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't do the cessation myself again, because I think I felt that bad that quickly. I was quite taken away by it. So I didn't really, it like knocked me on my ass a bit. I didn't really have time to realize that I'd stopped it. It was almost like I was like, why do I feel so bad?
Yeah.
And it took me 2 or 3 days of feeling fucking really low before I realized that, oh, it's because I stopped the meds. So even then, I knew I'd stop the meds, but it took me maybe 4 or 5 days to make that connection and go, I better get those tablets out of the bin. And that wasn't a good look, you know, like diving down a fucking out the front of your house looking for tablets, bro.
Yeah. Oh man, dumpster diving.
I've done it for weed before. I remember I've accidentally shot weed out and gone down the bin, but that always seems more satisfactory. Do you know what I mean? Because you can get a joint out of it, but
yeah, it's a little more rewarding than getting boring medications, finding weed. I've been, speaking of weed, I've been cutting back on the amount of weed that I've been smoking lately, because it was getting to be a little bit too much of a daily routine for me, or nightly
like, how
routine.
much are you smoking?
Dude, on New Year's Eve, my girlfriend and I picked up an ounce, and she was smoking it too, but it was mostly me smoking it, and we burned through it in like a week and a half, for like, which to me, for an ounce of weed, like that seems like a lot of weed to burn through that quickly for two people.
I think so, yeah. I mean, at the height of when I was smoking weed over the pandemic, and the height of the pandemic, I was probably doing half an ounce a week, which I thought was on my own, which is a lot.
Yeah. Like I think that that is a bit excessive, or at least it is for me personally. So yeah, so I've cut back a little bit. I actually I had something really crazy happen the other night, which is, I think that I may have had a like acid flashback while I was stoned. So I was like laying in bed, and I had just smoked a couple of bowls of weed, and it was like pretty late at night, and I was kind of like half falling asleep, and I was just looking at this trippy poster that I have on my my wall in my bedroom, and I noticed that the colors were getting a lot more vivid and the contrast was getting a lot higher, and then the patterns actually started shifting around, and it was like super trippy, and really looked like what you would see on like a mild shroom trip. And I thought that I was I almost thought I was having like a stroke or something at first.
It can be weed though, you know, Hunter. I mean, especially if you, I think what people forget is it builds up in your system. Do you know what I mean? Weed just sort of stays in your system. And I think, like I said to you before Christmas, I got to the point where even a couple of pulls of a joint was sending me absolutely west.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like anxious. And I think you sort of get a good run with it. And then especially these new skunk strains, you know, all these hybrid weeds, they're just so strong in THC.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, man. Like this was some strong ass weed that I was smoking too. Like
it's stronger than mushrooms sometimes, I think.
It was so
weed can be stronger than acid or mushrooms, I swear to God.
I think that it can be in some ways. Like I think I know what you're saying.
Because you take it like casually, you think, oh well, it's just weed.
especially if you like do like actual psychedelics and then you smoke weed. Like I think if you
Yeah,
do
yeah.
LSD, like after that point, it changes the nature of just smoking weed.
Mm.
In some ways, I think it makes the weed like trippier. Uh, but I don't know. Do you believe in like flashbacks, quote unquote? Because a lot of people don't. There's something called HPPD, I think, which is like, or it's something, it means like post psychedelic hyper visual something. So I know
Oh,
that's possible.
I think I think maybe if you've opened that particular area of your brain up, you can go there again. I don't see it. I get what you're saying. Once you take an acid, then it's much easier or more likely that you're going to go down that trippy psychedelic route when you smoke weed, because you know to look for it or you know what it looks like.
Yeah.
But I suppose most people would. I don't know. You can't really test it, can you?
No, you can't. It's like so weird. I almost thought about telling my psychiatrist about it, but I didn't want him to think that I was like experiencing psychosis, because I don't think it's psychosis. I think that I was just really high and this like weird thing just kind of happened.
I think yeah, but we like you say, these weeds are so strong. These marijuana strains are so strong now. I mean,
Yeah.
I know I was in Nashville one time doing some songwriting, and we got hold of some AK-47. You ever heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
And fuck me, honestly, it's no, because it's like crystally, really crisp and crunchy weed, just absolutely packed with THC crystals. And it just fucked me up after about 2 or 3 drags of this stuff. I was like, I was gone. And then the next time I had it was in Amsterdam when we were doing our album. And we stopped in a coffee shop on the way back to the ship. You know, we had to get a ship across. So we were in this little town called Hook. The Hook of Holland, it's called. So there was a little, and we bought, I said, oh, they got this AK-47. So we got some and put like a 20 quid bag in a big joint. Same thing, it just messed me up. So I don't know. I think the weeds just got so strong now, mate. I think that's what it is.
I was the strain I was smoking that caused this was Granddaddy Purple.
Never heard of that, but it sounds bad. Just the name makes it sound bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's cool. It's actually one of my favorite strains. It's just it did me dirty that one time. I don't know what happened there. Right now I've got some some random strains that were grown by like some guy my brother knows,
Right.
in Virginia. So it's all legal, it's all good. I was gifted it, but it's really really strong shit, and I don't know what strain it is, but it's got a lot of that orange,
yeah, I know
fire on it and shit.
Yeah.
And I smoked just like one bowl of it the other night after taking a few days off from smoking weed.
Yeah.
And it got me. So
it's hard to tell. As I say, for me, weed's a no now. I don't think I'll I don't think I'll be able to smoke it again.
yeah, that's, it's not a bad idea to take breaks or stop altogether sometimes. Sometimes you just get to a point where you don't need it anymore. That's how I feel about alcohol. It's just like, why would I do that? I actually tomorrow is my 6-year anniversary for alcohol sobriety.
Oh, nice one, mate. 6 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I know you have like 15 years alcohol sobriety, right?
Well, 2001 I gave up.
Wow, that is so wild, man.
Yeah, I gave up on 11/11/2001.
Wow. So that was post 9/11. That was a stressful time to get sober.
Well, yeah, I watched I'll admit something now. I don't know if I told you this before, but when the Twin Towers came down, I didn't know what they were.
Oh yeah.
So someone said a plane's hit the Twin Towers, and everyone went to the pub to go and watch Sky TV. And I didn't have a fucking clue what the Twin Towers were, because I was just living in this bubble of booze and drugs. I just didn't really pay attention to anything going on.
Yeah.
I went and saw these big, and I'd been to New York 3 years before with the band I was in, and just completely just looked eye level. Obviously, I didn't even notice these fucking towers that ultimately ended up falling down. But I had no reckoning of what they were. I just remember the day that happened. Because I was drinking still then, obviously. Just thinking, awesome, I can go to the pub.
Yeah, like here's an excuse to go drink. Like this works.
And everyone was upset and all that, and I was just completely numbed out. I was taking Valiant. I used to do a lot of Valiant and Coke and stuff, and
combining benzos with alcohol is always just like the worst combination. Like every time I've done that, I think I have blacked out or gotten the spins so badly that I had to go lay down or something.
I just used to love the mix of Valium and booze and Coke.
I mean, if you're trying to sedate yourself or like turn your brain off, like that's a effective way to do it, but it's not good for your liver or for your brain, probably.
No, not at all. Yeah, we were talking on text, weren't we, saying about recently in the press with Kanye, because I was just speaking with my partner actually about it.
Oh yeah, with Kanye punching that guy out.
Yeah, is he not on meds? Is that what you're saying? You think?
Yeah, so like his whole thing is like no one knows anymore. He said a couple of years ago that he was bipolar and that he was on medication. Then he said that he no longer thinks he's bipolar and he stopped taking his medication, which is like the classic bipolar thing to do.
Yeah.
So a couple of nights ago, I saw on these like celebrity gossip shows that Kanye was being investigated for like battery charges.
He was a fan, wasn't he? A fan asked for an autograph.
Yeah, exactly. Like someone approached him, and apparently someone approached him outside of a nightclub at like 3 a.m, and Kanye was all like pissed off and like was like, no, like I'm not signing autographs, like I'm going through some shit right now. And then apparently the guy was like, hey man, it's cool, we all have family problems, just like assuming that that's what Kanye was referring to. And then homie got knocked the fuck out for a second. So I think that the point of the video or my takeaway from the video was watching Kanye West's behavior and just the way he was acting, because the video starts after the guy is knocked out on the ground. And right. Kanye is just having like a full freak out. Like people are trying to talk to him and like get him to calm down. He's like running around the street, like waving his arms around, screaming like, you don't know me, you don't know me. But, and it's just like, this is not stable behavior. This is not like a mentally healthy or normal situation. And it's really concerning. And shit like that is what leads to, criminal charges resulting from untreated mental illness. It
also encourages others. I think if you think you're bipolar and you look up to Kanye, you may well think, well, he's not taking meds, I won't take meds. That's what I take
absolutely.
away from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's 100% true, and it is kind of dangerous when stuff like that happens, and a person like that is so influential over the way other people live their lives.
Definitely.
It's a powerful position to be in,
Well, who's going to tell him either? I mean, he's probably surrounded by people, it's hard enough to get to someone who's bipolar at the best of times, isn't it? As we know.
Yeah.
But if you're a multi-million-pound rap star
who
lives his life through the lens of the media, it's like, I can't imagine it'd be easy to get through to him.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure he's surrounded by people who kind of enable him, and that just makes things so much worse, because like feelings of grandiosity and shit like that, it's like, well, you are in an elite tier of society if you choose to look at social hierarchy that way. He's in a very high tier of that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, he's like
So
grandiose by nature, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's
yeah,
asked grandiose.
it was already grandiose, and now is even grandioser.
That's what he gets paid for, isn't it? Really, I think is.
That image is huge. And then we had I also had Britney Spears on the celebrity gossip list.
I didn't realize until I read a bit about her. Obviously, I've seen the documentary and I knew that she was under the conservatorship. I didn't realize it was bipolar with her.
Yeah, my understanding is that it's bipolar. I don't know as much about the Britney Spears saga as I do about Kanye West's saga, but
it's interesting the way the two are treated differently, isn't it? Though, I mean, that's what I was thinking about when we were talking about it on Message. It's like, on the one hand, become and is quite difficult through his illness, whereas Britney had the shave in her head instance, and then she was sort of completely tethered by her family. It's the opposite angle, isn't it? It's like, on one hand, like you said, Kanye's being enabled and allowed, and on the other, she was completely imprisoned and sort of had
being
all the
like
rights
stifled.
Yeah, it's like opposite ends of the same illness, but treated very differently.
Yeah, check this out. So I just Googled this, and this article is from December 23rd, 2013. And so it says that Britney Spears has revealed the extent of her bipolar disorder and mood swings. First exploded onto the scene in 1999, described herself as being carefree and a more sexualized version of herself. Blah, 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 but says she's normally shy and introverted. And there's some other shit. One quote from her is, she says she's not really made for this industry. I guess meaning
I think
the
that's
music
right,
industry.
though, isn't it? I think if you're being, it's interesting. She says she's shy and introverted normally, and then on the other hand, she's highly sexualized. It's like that's atypical bipolar behavior from someone who's female as well. Obviously, the symptoms can be different in females to males. But yeah, that hypersexuality and I suppose also, as I say, it just goes to show how it's treated differently, how men and women treated differently, isn't it? On the one hand, she's imprisoned in her house, and Kanye's like encouraged.
Yeah, dude, I think there's like totally a sexist difference there. I think that the media perception of like a female with mental health issues versus a male with mental health issues is much different. Like, when you hear about Britney Spears being mentally ill, you hear all these things like, oh, well, she's a terrible mother, and like she's unfit to raise children, and she can't do this and she can't do that. And then Kanye West, on the other hand, people look at him and are like, oh, like this guy's so crazy and entertaining, or this is
it goes back to
this is just how he is. This is just who he is as a
person. Yeah, exactly. It goes back to when he went up and he was horrible to Taylor Swift at the award ceremony, wasn't it? I mean, which is such a manic thing to do. You can imagine him, he's just sat there and he's just like hyper manic.
Yeah.
Ran up and he's like, yo, she shouldn't be winning this. I'm no disrespect to you. And he's babbling on, and it's like,
yeah, Beyonce had the best video of all time. And you're like,
yeah, I mean, that's just
really, I don't know if he's wrong or not, but it's not appropriate.
Well, it was the reaction of the public to it. I think that's interesting. It wasn't like, wow, he's fucking completely lost it. What's he doing?
Yeah.
It's that, like you say, it's this, he's just Kanye's being Kanye. Whereas if Britney shaved her head, it wasn't Britney's being Britney. It was Britney's lost her mind.
Yeah. She was, so something I read about that conservatorship is the reason it happened was because she was involuntarily hospitalized in 2008 for a psychiatric crisis, which is really scary that even after you're released from a hospital and deemed to be mentally healthy, someone could still have power over you in terms of your economic assets and things like that. I mean, that's crazy. It's it just doesn't seem right to me at
I
all.
suppose it wouldn't happen that often unless she was super rich. I think that's probably the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's not going to happen to you or I. I mean, who's going to want to have control of my finances?
Yeah, like, do you want to take on a bunch of debt?
Yeah, a load of debt and like, not very much cash every too often.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's not something that's going to happen to us. So we're safe.
we're safe for now. We'll see.
Safe
You never
and
know in the future. This podcast could blow up and become highly profitable. Who knows?
blow Joe Rogan away. He's acting nuts and he acting nuts. What is wrong with that man?
Joe Rogan.
Have you seen some of the people that he just the anti-vaccine COVID?
You know, man, I've followed Joe Rogan from the time when he was still doing that podcast in his basement, just with like his best friends, and he used to be kind of relatable in terms of like, he always frames things through like, I'm just a dumb guy asking questions, and it's like, yeah. You are, but now, whereas once your show was kind of like a cult hit, it's now as mainstream can be, and he's got, I think
it's one of the most consumed media channels in the world or something. That's what I read. It's one of them. It's something. Yeah, it's consumed more by more people, more hours of it than any other single media outlet.
And here's my thing with Joe Rogan. He's actually not a dumb guy at all. He's smart as fuck, and he has worked his ass off to get to where he is. Like he really has. I think his story is really interesting, and that, you know, I think he knows what he's doing more than he would lead others to believe.
Oh yeah, no, he was always gonna, you know, that's why he has Alex Jones. He's good friends with Alex Jones, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know these days if they're still on good terms, but he used to have Alex Jones on his podcast quite a bit, if I remember correctly.
But he's like, do you know of Russell Brand?
Yeah.
Russell Brand's another one that I knew when this pandemic hit, he was going to go down that route. Do you know what I mean? Denial against the vaccine and, you know, caught in conspiracy, all those things that Joe Rogan's doing now.
Isn't Russell Brand also bipolar?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard that about him. But I could see it.
Yeah, no, you can see. Well, and they're both comedians, aren't they? What's interesting? Joe Rogan, I don't know. I don't think Joe Rogan's bipolar, but
No, I think Joe Rogan is notoriously like anti-medication and stuff. But
he's always smoking weed, isn't he?
Smokes mad weed, does mushrooms, DMT, all that cool shit. But yeah, no, I don't think he has any mental health issues. He does try, and this is one of the reasons why I actually didn't get on medication as soon as I probably should have, is because back when I listened to his show extensively and was in college, he and his guests would talk a lot about how taking psychiatric medication is bad for you and like changes your personality and like numbs you out and like all of the negative side of
the anti-pharmaceutical.
Yeah, exactly. And it influenced my perception of being on that type of medication, man. Like it was it did. I'm not like blaming Joe.
No, but that's the culture. No, I was part of that whole, you know, I didn't vaccinate my son. I didn't trust pharmaceutical companies. You know what I mean? I believed if I ever got cancer, I'd take weed and coffee enemas up the arse and not chemo. You know?
Jesus Christ, man.
All that, do you know what I mean? All that anti-pharmaceutical company stuff. So yeah, I was very much, when I that was part of the problem with being given medication now, is that I very much was like anti that and into that, you know, that whole idea that it you know, how can you ever, you know, get well with taking tablets, and it's not natural, and forgetting that smallpox is natural, Ebola's natural, that of the bones is natural. Do you know what I mean? And we've managed to find many medicines that stop us from dying from, you know, cholera or God knows what.
Yeah,
I think it's this self-entitled thing. Hunter, that we talked about before. We're living in a period of history where there's been no Great War, there's been no Great Depression. It's the Fight Club thing, isn't it? We're sort of, we've all been promised that we're going to be movie stars or rock stars, and people are just a bit bored and pissed off, because there's nothing really to fight against. You know what I mean? So they create false demons and conspiracies and ideas that someone's trying to control you, when really they're not. You're living in a very free time where you're allowed to do what you want. You're looked after medically, financially. You're not struggling like any generation gone before you.
Yeah.
And it's very, with this boredom comes this ability to, imagine all kinds of nefarious goings on, which are not actually fucking happening.
Yeah, I think that's the case for some people, for sure. I mean the COVID-19 thing is definitely the craziest thing that's happened in my lifetime. I think it's been crazier than 9/11. I was talking to some of my friends about that a while back, and we were like, because we were like in like first or second grade when 9/11 happened. We were like very young kids, and that totally changed the world. And now COVID-19 has changed the world, and it just keeps going on and seems like it'll never stop. And so
it's an all-encompassing. That's what I mean by world war or depression. I mean, there has been nothing like it, but this COVID-19's come along, and it's not quite as bad as a world war, but that's the interesting thing. That'll
be the next step, though, is that there will be World War III with these like hypersonic missiles and shit from China. Have you been paying attention to that?
Yeah,
shit?
I've seen all that. Yeah,
dude, check this out. So I actually I tracked it. Henry Rollins, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I had a piss next to him at a festival once. Anyway.
Oh, you met him?
Well, I had a piss next to him at a festival.
Oh, okay.
So I saw like, all right, mate. Yeah,
that's pretty funny. Well, I have not met him in person, but I tracked down his email address somehow, and I found him, and I emailed him about the Russian hypersonic missiles and the Chinese hypersonic missiles, and I was like, dude, like, have you been paying attention to this? I put the subject line as Russian hypersonic eraser because I thought that would get his attention. And he responded and told me not to worry about it. But like, I don't trust that. I don't know. I don't trust you.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone's got a vested interest in another war like that.
Yeah, I know, man. But just that they have the technology and we don't.
You got to remember, China is the production hub of the world. Why are they going to kill their customers?
I don't know, man. But like, just the fact that they have technological warfare superiority right now over us in that domain, because the United States and like other allies don't have that type of weaponry yet, but Russia and China do. And we're behind. And the last missile test they did in the United States, trying to develop one of these fucking things, which are like insane. Like, for people who don't know what they are, they like go into the stratosphere and then they like glide back down, going like 30,000 miles an hour.
They go anywhere. They go anywhere in space, don't they? And they can land within 15 minutes.
Or like fast. Sorry.
I saw it in the news because I was the generation that was brought up to believe that there was going to be a nuclear war with the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
So we were given like leaflets saying that you get underneath the table and you black out.
Duck and cover.
That's when I was in school. All of those things in the 80s.
Wow.
They were scared shitless about a nuclear war.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone's got an appetite for a war like that. As I say, you pick up something in your house and it'll say "Made in China" on it.
Yeah.
So are they going to wipe you out? I can't imagine. Who are they going to sell their shit to?
They just want to. What if they actually? Okay, so what Henry Rollins told me.
What Henry Rollins told you? You sure you're all right?
To get back to my close personal friendship with Mr. Rollins, he said Russia will never destroy something that they want, and so that is in line with what you're saying about about China. They want what we have. If they fire these missiles, they're going to destroy what we have. Therefore, we're probably safe from hypersonic missiles. But I don't mean to go down an entire tangent, man, but that shit, I do think about that. That's the sort of,
I do, yeah.
You know, it's not even a conspiracy theory. It's just like, yeah, that's shit that is a reality.
And also, I suppose you got to be pretty sure of the sanity of someone like Putin. And I don't know how insane the man is. Maybe he doesn't give a shit. Maybe
he is such
wipe out Texas, he wouldn't care.
He's such a reptilian motherfucker. Just the way he emotes and his mannerisms. Putin is a scary fucking guy, man. You know the whole
Trump.
Yes, in my opinion, because he could actually just like kill you with his bare hands. I think like he knows like jujitsu and like or Krav Maga and shit from when he was in the Spetsnaz.
Have you read the story that he at 16 he walked up to the KGB and said, "How do I join?"
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant KGB, not Spetsnaz. No, but I haven't heard that story. Please continue.
Okay, apparently went at 16, he went up to, just knocked on the front gate, said, "How do I join?" And they sort of laughed at him. And then I think like 7 years later, he was the head of the KGB, wasn't he?
Fucking, that's the way to do it, man. Would you rather have to hang out with Dick Cheney or with Vladimir Putin for like an hour if you had to?
You see that this is an interesting one because the 7 degrees of separation through Milgram. We supported Steven Seagal on a few gigs in England.
Really?
Yeah, and he went out, and he's a close personal friend of Putin, you see.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said some weird stuff to us because he was going out to play to the Russian troops after he was still running gigs. But yeah, he's an odd bloke. What did he say? He said to us backstage once. He came up to us, said, "Are you all right?" We said, "Oh, you're right. You have a good sound check." And he was like, "Yeah." He said, "Even a blind chicken pecks some corn once every so often. That's what my grandmother used to say to me."
The fuck does that mean?
I don't know. And he walked off. What it felt like was, because it was backstage and we're just like two bit part actors and thing, and it was a bit psychedelic, was he was going to kill us. Because he's got these, the sort of like the Just for Men hair color.
Yeah, man.
It's just because he bought all his band. He had like Michael McDonald's bassist and that, and they all fucking hated him.
Yeah, really. No, I've heard he's like not a chill guy.
He's not very good either.
No, he's not. He sucks at guitar. He plays like don't you get kind of the impression that he's like a wannabe Carlos Santana? Like, doesn't he have that? I haven't listened to a ton of his music, Seagal's, but every time I've seen him play guitar, I'm just like, oh yeah, like this is like Carlos Santana, except like really bad.
I know what you mean, like the attack and everything on the guitar. I mean, people were just walking out en masse on his gigs, just walking out.
Oh, really?
They'd watch us play, and they'd watch about 10 minutes of him, and then they just fuck off. Very good.
I need to go see like an actual live show soon.
No, there's no gigs.
I know. Well, Cannibal Corpse is coming to Baltimore in like a month, and Ween has a show coming up in Silver Spring, Maryland, which is very close to me. But it's just like a matter of like, do you really want to put yourself at risk and get like the Omicron variant and shit?
I don't know what to think anymore. I mean, we've had how many injections you've had now? I've had 3.
I've actually only gotten the Johnson & Johnson, and I got it over 6 months ago. I need to get a booster shot, I believe.
Yeah, you should do.
Yeah, but that's
where
I'm at.
Yeah, or do you know anyone that's caught it?
My dad actually had COVID like a week and a half ago.
Everyone's got it here, man. Everyone's got it.
Yeah, it's all over the place now, and the statistics for it are just like off the charts now. Like I think it's even worse than it was this time last year. Wow. Like way worse.
So, yeah, I mean the death rates dropped off, but people are vaccinated, aren't they? Get your booster, Hunter.
Yeah, I know. It's on my to-do list. I barely leave my apartment these days since I work from home, and everything is dangerous to go to right now. So I'm pretty quarantined and isolated already, but yeah, I need to get that booster shot soon. Anyhow, man, I know you only have like a minute or so left. Was there anything else you wanted to any other last words?
We've gone from medication to Britney Spears to Joe Rogan to Steven Seagal. I don't know how we got there.
Yeah, man, it's we kind of jumped around a little bit.
I'd say heed what you've done, and if you want to reduce meds, then go through your doctor. I think that's the one thing I've learned over the last month, is that I can't on the one hand go and ask for help and then decide to reject it all when I feel a bit better.
Yeah,
as I say, that it's that thing of feeling that the meds are associated with illness. You know what I mean? And they're not. They're associated with wellness, really, aren't they? It's the way I should view it. But
I think that's a really good perspective to have.
It's hard. I'm trying to hold that, but yeah, that's why you need to get a booster as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So Bill Gates can control you.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for the deep state.
Are you joking? Are you being serious? I can't tell.
No, well, I don't know if I'm joking or not. I don't know anymore.
We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, we can talk about that next time.
All right, brother. Anyway, take it easy. It's nice talking to you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Bipolar Recorder. My name is Hunter Keegan. Bipolar Recorder can be found on Twitter at Bipolar Recorder. I can be found on Twitter at HHKeegan. And if you have been enjoying this show so far, just a friendly reminder to tell your friends about it, and maybe even consider leaving us a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts so you can help get the word out to an even wider audience. It's been such a pleasure hosting this show so far. I've had so many amazing conversations with so many interesting people, and I feel very honored that people have been so willing to share their stories in such an open and vulnerable format. It's really been quite incredible. So until next time, I hope you stay safe, and thank you again.
Bipolar Recorder is a listener-supported show. To help keep the show running, consider checking out our Patreon page or visiting bipolarrecorder.com.
Unless otherwise stated, the hosts and guests on Bipolar Recorder are not licensed mental health professionals. Bipolar Recorder is not a substitute for therapy or professional medical intervention. If you are having a mental health crisis, please contact your local emergency services.